Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtotar Satishla A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Anantakutta Vaishnavrinda Ki Nama Acharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Gaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Ganga Maya Ki Yamuna Maya Ki Tulasi Deva Ki Bhakti Deva Ki Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Go Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Garanga. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namani Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvasesha Shunyavadi Paschachitishitane Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming this morning. In the association of devotees, we may be able to relish a little bit of the sweet nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. And after that beautiful, pure, chaste kirtan of Yadunandana Maharaj, the whole atmosphere is purified more than usual. So today I think we're reading from the 3rd canto, chapter 12, text number 6. Is that correct? Correct. Excuse me, if you want me to speak louder, I can try. My voice is a little down, but we'll try. Can you hear at the back? Okay. Please let me know if it's not clear. I'll probably forget. I just wanted to thank the devotees of the Manor, Bhaktivedanta Manor, for facilitating this brahmachari convention, and also for making the Bhaktivedanta Manor more and more pleasing to Srila Prabhupada. And the beautiful floral arrangements, I think, more than I've ever seen before. So I know Dwarkapuri Prabhu was very much involved in that, and many others probably in Air Temple Management, Vishaka Dasi and others who are doing this wonderful service of bringing pleasure to Prabhupada. That's what we're here for. So text number 6, is it on the screen? Okay. Saha avadyataha Sutahi evam patyakyata anushashanai krodam dervishaham jatam niyantam upachakrame Sovadyatak sutairevam Patyakyatanushasanai Krodhang ravishahang jatam Niyantam upachakrame Sovadyatak sutairevam Patyakyatanushasanai Krodhang ravishaham jatam Niyantam upachakrame Sovadyatak sutarevam Patyakyatanushasanai Krodham davishaham jatam Niyantam upachakrame Sovadyatak satarevam Patyakyatanushasanai Krodhang davishaham jatam Niyantam upachakrame Sovadyatak sutarevam Patyakyatanushasanai Krodham davishaham jatam Niyantam upachakrame. Ladies. Sovadyatak satarevam Patyakyanasushasanahi Krodham davishaham jatam Niyantam upachakrame Saha He Brahma Avatyataha thus being disrespected. Sutaihi by the sons. Evam thus. Patyakyata refusing to obey. Anushasanaihi the order of their father. Krodham anger. Durvishaham too much to be tolerated. Jatam thus generated. Niyantam to control. Upachakrame tried his best. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. On the refusal of the sons to obey the order of their father, there was much anger generated in the mind of Brahma, which he tried to control and not express. Purport. Brahma is the director in charge of the mode of passion of material nature. Therefore, it was natural for him to become angry on the refusal of his sons to obey his order. Although the Kumaras were right in such acts of refusal, Brahma, being absorbed in the mode of passion, could not check his passionate anger. He did not express it, however, because he knew that his sons were far enlightened in spiritual advancement, and thus he should not express his anger before them. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gnanjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shva Padatikam Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevicha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Pyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Have you ever had this experience? Yeah? When somebody, doesn't respond the way you would like them to respond. And you're trying to check your anger. Have you ever had that? Yeah. I'm Sri Kamini, you must have dealt with this issue over and over again, right? Being a counselor. Oh, we also see it in ourselves. That's the main thing, isn't it? It's easy to see it in others, maybe. Easier to see the faults in others, but to find that within ourselves is tendency. Mode of passion. What does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita directly related to this? Kama Esha, 337, isn't it? Kama Esha. Yeah, some scholars here. Very good. Well done. But how much do we apply it in our lives? Bhagavad Gita is a really good book, isn't it, Maharaj? Huh? But how much do we really, realize it really applies to us? We distribute millions of books on the streets and preach from the Bhagavad Gita to people, but sometimes we forget. Huh? So many, we're not going to go there, but in this one case about, what is the cause of anger? Lust. And what is lust? You can answer it in terms of what it is or what it causes, or what does Krishna say in that verse? The all-devouring sinful enemy. The all-devouring. It's a pretty heavy statement, isn't it? All-devouring. It devours everything. The all-devouring sinful enemy of the world. Pretty heavy, huh? And also when you read in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, probably text 63, I can't remember exactly, what does Krishna say to Arjuna there? Maharaj knows every word of the Bhagavad Gita. I never forget we were sitting together on the way to the Byron Bay Rathayatra one time, maybe 20 years ago. You may not remember that, but I remember it. Sitting in a car, driving there, you were just asking me, say any number in the Bhagavad Gita. Referring to a number of a verse. Maharaj would then immediately, number 16th chapter, text 17. Tell me, what is it? And he would immediately come up. Maybe, I don't know if your memory is still 100% like it was then, but as the body gets old, sometimes the memory starts to weaken a little bit. Sometimes. I don't know. You have to check and make sure he's got it right, okay? it's good to know what Krishna's saying, isn't it? He's not speaking it because, he wants to get, well, maybe, but not really, wants to impress people or showing how good a scholar he is, or because he's nothing else to do, or maybe he's getting paid for speaking the Bhagavad Gita or something, getting book points or something. No, he's speaking to Arjuna for our benefit. Bhagavatam, the same. We learn, I was thinking this morning on this subject matter of anger. We see, it's pointed out, not so directly by Prabhupada maybe, but we see this pointed out by Bhaktivedanta Thakur, how by hearing about the interaction of the Lord with his devotees or demons or whatever it is, in various ways, how it can help us to, let's say, overcome our tendencies, in those directions, whether it's lust, greed, here we got anger. So by hearing this pastime, which we're hearing now of Lord Brahma, of course, pastime goes on into other areas, but at this point of time, discussing the desire of Lord Brahma. After all, he's what is he in the universe? Pardon? What is he? Creator, but okay, let's put it in terms of avatars. What is he? Guna avatar. What guna? Passion. Rajaguna. That's his role. Post, if you want to call it that. He's naturally going to act accordingly. If you have a post in society, you may have not that particular. You're in a drama or something. You've got to play your part. It may or may not be your natural kind of nature. You have to play the part. His part is overseeing the mode of passion and consequently in creation. And here we are at the beginning of the universe, practically speaking, at least in this particular day or whatever. And naturally he wants. We see that with parents all over the world, isn't it? They expect so much of their children sometimes. It's become a very prominent factor in society, isn't it? I don't know. It was maybe it's not, maybe it's chilled out. But when I was a kid, it was really prominent. Expectations of their children. They want you to. Of course, in the conditioned state, there's a lot of envy involved. They want you to, be better than the others. I remember when my, how would we call it, cousin, she became a doctor. So my parents were, very trying their level best to try to get me to become something competitive with her. Family member, still that competition is there. A little different in Lord Brahma's case. He has a duty to Krishna to perform, but in ordinary dealings we see this, that envy. The next door neighbor gets a fridge, and my mother was not shouting, but appealing to my father, we have to get a better fridge now. This type of things go on, Work harder, get a better fridge. So we had to work overtime to get a better fridge. This type of thing goes on, and with the children, they were doing everything they could. They were quite happy the way I was going, despite all the drugs and all this and that. They didn't know what that was, so it was out of their kind of menu. Kids go through these things. But they were quite happy, university degree and all this and that, become a town planner, that's pretty good, yeah. Okay, we can advertise our son now. He's just got his degree and he's going to become a town planner probably, or maybe something like that. Very, very happy. And then when I announced to them I was going to join the Hare Krishna temple, all hell broke loose. They didn't control their anger. Brahma was, especially my mother, she flipped. Sorry about the terminology, but this is what we used to call it. She flipped out, literally. It went crazy. What did we do to you that you're doing this to us? Screaming her head off, I was always a good mother to you, and now you do this to us. He was freaking out. Some of you probably have had a similar experience, I don't know. Variety is the spice of life. Anyway, I stood to my resolve. I gave her 2 months' notice. I thought that this would at least prepare her. But it didn't. She couldn't believe it, you know. My father was a little bit more restrained. He wasn't happy, but he controlled his anger, I must say, and he kind of pacified her a little bit. But she never really recovered, I'm afraid, from that. Maybe slightly, but not that much. She got prasadam, so whatever. Something like that. Anyway, this anger, we see in that 263, what does on marriages, obviously, well, many of you know the verse. What is the translation? 62? Okay, what's the translation? Come on, Maharaj, come on, give the others a chance, will you? I know you're very enthusiastic and completely enthusiastic, but they'll never grow up otherwise. Come on, somebody else. We used to have to put our hands up. Put your hand up if you want to say something. Okay, here we go.
While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. From such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises.
Here we go. And then there's a whole spiel after that. And it's not a very good direction, is it? What happens? What happens after that? What does it mean, you're becoming angry? I mean, it can be a literal expression of anger, and often it is. I heard that anger is really on the rise right now in society. And many reasons. I looked at the picture of someone getting angry. They put their fist straight through their computer, whomp, out the other side. You ever had that problem with your computer? Damn thing doesn't work, Mobile phone, something or another, Just when you need it, it crashes or something, and you lose everything. Isn't it? You can sometimes get really angry, isn't it? I was thinking the other day, it was interesting. How Krishna reacted. On the Rath Yatra day, I was in the middle of the kirtan there with Dayamore. We were dancing together in the middle of the kirtan, and someone had Dayamore's elbow went bonk into my face like this, and my false teeth went out. My false teeth fell out. I said, "You just broke my teeth." He didn't realize he had false teeth. He was like, he was shocked. And I told him, "Don't worry, it's false teeth, don't worry." And anyway, I didn't get angry or anything. I was laughing, But when I got back from the Rath Yatra, immediately I got back, I felt something funny in my mouth, and one of my big teeth literally fell out of my mouth. I just had a new set of dentures, the impressions. I just had it made, and next day I was going to pick up the new dentures, and now there's another big tooth out. Well, do you get angry? You could do. Like when you bite your tongue. You ever bitten your tongue? Not very nice, is it? You can even get angry over that, isn't it crazy? Identification. Who do you get angry with? The teeth, the tongue, or who's to blame for this? Smash your teeth out or something? It's crazy, isn't it? It's the world. We get angry over. So the root of it, we've already said it more or less, but what's the root? Not the root of the tooth, I mean the root of anger. It's lust, but let's go back a little further. Excuse me? Unfulfilled desires. Okay, that's literally what Krishna says. And Prabhupada expands it in the purport to 337 and maybe 262, I don't know, and other places, many places. Yes, Prabhu.
So Prabhupada explained
Our what?
It's our lost love.
Our love? Our love of Krishna.
Yeah, that it comes originally from love.
Okay, we're getting really deep here. Oh, goodness. Got one of those transcendentalists here. Our love for Krishna?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it. Explain a little more. I mean, I'm going to get angry all the time if that's what it means to be love. We express our love of Krishna. Sounds good. What do you think, Maharaj? Is this a new philosophy or? Oh, there's more to add to it. Okay. Well, that's a good way. There's a part to it. When you see someone else getting angry, you can kind of think, you can see it like that. Thank you, Krishna. You're so kind to me.
At least as far as I remember.
Huh?
As far as I remember what Srila Prabhupada says, I might be wrong, then you will explain.
Don't worry, I won't get angry if you're wrong. Carry on. Milk? I don't know where we're going here. Talking about milk and yogurt now. Carry on, young man. What's your good name?
Emil.
Pardon?
Emil.
Emile.
Emil.
Emile?
Yes.
Are you from France? No, okay,
No.
Carry on.
But at least as I remember in Srila Prabhupada, he's explaining lust, that he says that it comes from our lost love from Krishna.
It's a oh, thank you, Maharaj. I never thought of that. It's a reflection of our love, isn't it? So you're completely right that ultimately anger comes from Krishna, doesn't it? He's to blame, not me. It's all his fault. There's a scholar here. What do you think, Maharaj? Am I correct in my conclusion? Yes, he's agreeing. See, okay. Here we go, confirmed. Indriyesh Prabhu, you're also a very learned scholar. Am I correct? Krishna's to blame. Yes, see? I'm not going to ask for a vote here. We might get in real trouble. It's a good way of passing the buck. Huh? Oh my goodness, we got another opinion over here. Gee, he's from the other side of the river there. He's on the other side of the water. Huh? About what? Who said to who? Your mother. Oh, this is a very important Shastric statement here. I hope it's not similar to what my mother said.
There was something that my mother said to me that when there was, we used to be bullied. A certain person.
A certain person was bullying you?
Yeah, and she said, you should feel sorry for them. They don't know any better. Maybe he did. Because he was bullied, because they thought his parents would bully him and they'd like him if he did what they said. So, and he thinks the same here, that we'll respect him because he bullies us.
Just see.
It was like a sort of disciplined succession.
Yeah, disciplic succession.
Yeah, and it happens quite
Bully
a lot.
Sampradaya.
Yeah, yeah, and beating of ladies, when they don't do what the man says.
In one sense, though.
Even in devotees.
Yeah. Oh, well, yes.
I've known it. Yeah.
That, believe me, this morning, if Krishna allows, in the session, this is one of the topics. It's about indirectly or indirectly, at least 9 or 10 devotees brought this up in their devotional interactions. The very point. That very point. And how to deal with it. Thank you very much, Prayojana Prabhu. We don't have time to go into too much details on any of this. There's many angles to anger. What is it? What causes it? What the effects of anger are? Different types of anger.
King Parashi, in the first verse of chapter 19, when he was regretting having put the snake around his neck, and there's a beautiful purport by Prabhupada that his regret was the purifying factor that
Yeah.
that would destroy the sinful reaction.
Yeah.
It is regret that we should have, and we should say sorry.
Genuine repentant feeling.
Yeah.
Not just saying I'm sorry. That's okay. But actually wanting to change. Desire for change. What other causes of anger are there in our lives? Contemplating the objects of the senses. Anything else? Envy. Of course, that's very closely related, isn't it? I have that problem. Very strongly have that problem. I'll just touch this a little bit, but although I'm maybe this is why I have some connection or sort of sentimental connection with Lord Brahma, because I try to control it and conceal it sometimes by that envy of others, and then try not to get angry. But it comes out in other ways, and if it's not dealt with, it comes out as a few things. Depression is one, isn't it? Dissatisfaction, criticizing, so many different things. But we haven't got time to go to each and every one. Several hands are up here, causes of anger. Okay? France first.
False identification.
Pardon?
False identification.
False identification.
Yeah.
Yeah, well that's, how would you express that directly?
Well, because we think, for example, that if you hurt my body, because I think that this is my body, then I get angry.
Okay, so you qualify it. So if I punch you, you might get angry?
Yeah, because I think this is my body, so I'm...
Okay, we are not going to punch you. Yeah, anything that someone does to our body, even verbally, we even concoct sometimes, mentally, they don't like me. Or physically, there's nice pastime in the 10th canto, isn't it, of Brigamuni. We can go there if you want to find out more. If somebody, disrespects me, what I think is me. What else? Yes, Prabhu.
Maybe because of food.
Food?
Food in mode of ignorance.
Food?
Yeah, because anger is emotion, and emotion is based
Interesting.
on food.
Never saw that. Food in the mode of ignorance. Yeah, it's a very good point. Huh? Anger is, is kind of passion. Lust is caused by passion, and then that creates ignorance, which is, related with anger. So food, the food we eat, and this is one of the things Prabhupada does describe how we deal with anger, is it's environmental. Well, that includes diet, it includes occupation, it includes association, it includes everything you can think of in that regards. And a lot of people become very angry because of environmental circumstances, don't they? People are angry. During the COVID, for instance, if you didn't have a mask, I saw in the temple room one devotee, he was so angry that another devotee was not wearing his mask in the temple. Then another devotee became very angry because you were wearing a mask. It doesn't take much to become angry. We think our perception is the absolute all the time. So environmental situations, of course, if they're simply material, they don't solve the real problem. But, in Krishna consciousness mission, the environmental situation is so important. Devotees tell me, I never had this experience, but I've heard from other devotees sometimes they would go into Prabhupada's room in a really disturbed state of mind. Maybe even angry with another devotee or something, Like, huh? So, no, well, I'm not finished yet. Pardon?
I'm not interrupting you. Just finish what you're saying.
Okay. Okay. I thought I was saying something wrong or something. Please do. Welcome to interrupt, but So I'm only repeating what I heard, so if I'm wrong, you don't get too angry with me. It's dangerous. Prabhupada said, Prabhupada, they always keep saying Prabhupada said. I never said. Anyway, we'll get back to what I was saying. And as soon as you get into Prabhupada's room, and devotees would say, I actually did have experiences. As soon as you get in his room, it's kind of like the whole atmosphere changed. Your consciousness changes. Anger or whatever it is, just kind of like. I guess you get that a little in the material world when you get on stage a little bit. You're really, really kind of like tense, but that's material. But spiritually speaking, when you come in the association of a pure devotee of the Lord, then this is the most purifying of all. Whatever our emotional challenges are, isn't it? Of hearing from them, just being around them. Of course, we have to be favorable, not that we're coming with an agenda to criticize them or attack them, but with a favorable mood in the sense, respectful mood. And then the magic works. The magic works. They're like touchstones. Whatever comes in front of them is reflected. Our heart, at least for the time being, Prabhupada said, envy and greed and lust and anger can subside. Kirtan, dancing together with your... Bhaktivedanta Manor said many things. I'll read a couple if you don't mind, because time is ticking by. And on this subject of any of the emotional or any of the enemies of the jiva, the 6 primary enemies that we hear of, anger being one of them, can, basically speaking, are dealt with by the process of pure devotional service. They're dealt with by any kind of devotional service, but the result will naturally be somewhat reduced. But pure devotional service can eradicate all the effects of these enemies, destroy the enemies of the soul. And Bhaktivedanta Manor inferred many, angles, we could say, especially kirtan being the cure. Prabhupada said when we come together. I remember here in 1974, one or two of you may have been hearing. I don't know if you were in the temple, Adikarta Prabhu, when we had the rift here at the Bhaktivedanta Manor. We had a rift, a big rift between devotees. You were not quite here then. Anyway, a big rift. Do you know this word, rift? No. Who would like to tell us what a rift is?
A fight.
Pardon?
A conflict or a fight.
What?
A conflict or a fight.
Conflict. A conflict between individuals. Pardon? Yeah, separation, a rift. It can be simple like that, but in terms of the devotees, it was like a real rift. I mean, you wouldn't believe it, There was so much anger. And I was kind of in the middle. One would be leading the kirtan, and the other one would start leading the kirtan over there, and competing like this. Literally. I was surprised that, what's the cause of this? What's the cause of this? Is it that one's wrong and one's right? That's what they thought. At least one party did. But what's the cause of it? Pardon? Ahankara, false ego. Putting ourselves in the center, isn't it? We think we're right. We get disturbed when our opinion is... You go to any meeting, sometimes devotees may get angry if they don't get what they think is the right perspective. What to do? There's so many situations that we can... What other situations may cause us to become angry? Not enough chapatis? Not enough chapatis, is that what you said? Not enough what? Okay, it could be chapatis. Yeah, it does. I've seen the devotee. I was talking about him yesterday to one other devotee who knew him. And right there in what's now the, what do you call this place where we're having the seminar? Bhakti Lounge? Right there and then, that prasad was always served there on the floor, and then a devotee came and he'd been working in the field maybe, and there wasn't enough prasadam left. And with his boot, not his foot, he didn't have his boot on, but his big foot, he kicked the prasadam pots flying in the air. Literally. Going. Stormed out the prasadam room. Everyone was like, not enough prasad. Very, very important. It is practical. It is. It's an important point. So we create a nice environment which is peaceful. Make sure there's enough prasadam. Not an environment where you don't have to contemplate the objects of the senses per se, at least not unnecessarily. And good as kirtan going on. Prabhupada said when we come together for kirtan, all these things go away, at least for the time being. Lots of kirtan, hearing katha, reading the books, hearing about the instance. They're teaching us lessons. There are so many lessons. This is one of them that Lord Brahma, there's an anger which is positive also. We all know that. But anger is the energy of Krishna also, and it can be used positively. Isn't it? It doesn't always have to be a negative thing which destroys everything, like Vishvamitra Muni or something, meditating for 60,000 of years, and then lust gets him, and then he becomes angry because he got by lust, and he has to start all over again. 60,000 years wasted almost. That would probably make you even more angry than the anger. Anger. Many people have so much problem with this. Depression doesn't necessarily relate to it, but oftentimes there's another expression of that anger. It may be anger. I'll give you my example is, how can I don't want to go right back there, but my anger is often born of unfulfilled fantasies about my elevated position of so-called devotional service, or wanting to achieve such a position. And because I don't have you could say, the confidence or the strength to get literally angry externally, like punch my fist through the wall and break my fist anyway, I'm a weakling. But therefore depression sometimes comes in. You become, depressed. Is another reflection or an extension of it. Negative emotions. Negative. So we can try to positize this. Sri Kama, you got your hand up. I don't know. I took my glasses off, but I think you have your hand up. Microphone.
Yeah, in that respect, I was thinking, firstly,
Here it comes.
Krishna, just what you were saying then, I was firstly thinking of injustice, but then I was thinking about someone's offensive about your spiritual master, then that would be a positive. I mean, you can kill them, can't you?
Okay. We're having a good proposal here, coming from a very trustworthy counselor. When you don't tell your clients like this, I'm having a problem with stuff. Just kill them. Just kill them. Problem over. I know who to send my troubled disciples to now. I'm having a problem with my guru. Just kill him. You didn't mean that. No, I think you mean you're having a problem with somebody who's giving is offensive to your guru, offensive to Prabhupada, offensive to Krishna. Yeah, there's definitely a time, place, and circumstance. Prabhupada said that three different approaches are recommended, isn't it? What are they? Cut out their tongue. Now, so you always have to carry a sharp knife with you wherever you go. No, it doesn't really infer, at least in this day and age, we see from the example of Lord Chaitanya and Jagai and Madai, for instance, it literally doesn't necessitate you have to actually physically pull your tongue out. No. But to defeat them, cut out their nonsense. That's not so easy, is it? Especially when a person's angry or overwhelmed. It's not easy. So what do you do then?
Go away.
Well, that's what Prabhupada recommended. Sometimes you hear this, sometimes you hear that, but you're supposed to give up your life. You heard blasphemy. You heard of criticism. You heard of offensive behavior. On your own account, you don't do that. You tolerate. Or you just go away if you don't want to stay in that situation. But you're in a tolerance. But when it's another devotee or the Lord, you don't tolerate. You get angry. But that anger is expressed in different ways. That's a legitimate anger. There are maybe others. I would say another legitimate anger. If somebody's done something, what would you do if someone abused your child? You're going to say, oh, it's your karma. Tolerate. Be compassionate to the poor fellow, That can be there also to understand. But, naturally the parent's going to be angry, isn't it? It's a natural response. As you said, even your own body, what to speak of your child. Somebody's acting to disturb someone's spiritual progress, you're going to get angry, right? Prabhupada would get angry. People sometimes wondered, why is the Swami getting angry? Amsterdam's the famous example of that. When Jagannath was installed, it was on television. The installation in Amsterdam of Jagannath. And everything was arranged, a big mess. Complete mess. Nothing was arranged properly. Nothing was there. And Prabhupada was getting, right there on television, he was getting quite angry. Why is this like this? Why? He was even saying you shouldn't have installed them like this. You're not ready for this. And Prabhupada was getting seemed to be really angry. And one hippie boy was right behind Prabhupada's asana, Vyasa-san. He said, why are you getting so angry? He said to Prabhupada. He didn't have a clue what was going on. Love and peace, And Prabhupada actually did. He just calmed down. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. But, it's not that Prabhupada was angry. He was using anger for the welfare of others because you don't listen. It may be expressed in different ways. Anyway, Prabhupada said if we had to give up our body, first of all, you can't defeat them. In some cases, if you're strong enough. But if you can't do that, then you're supposed to give up your body. But he said if we do that, then none of us would be left. We'd all be dead. Because you're here all the time. So the best thing, do leave. Go away. Don't stay around. It's dangerous. To hear criticism of a Vaishnava or Krishna is very detrimental. Very detrimental. There are numerous other factors you could say for being angry. You could think of many more probably in our lives, positive, negative. So what are we going to do about it? Assuming that, it does affect us sometimes, and it certainly affects others around us. What are we going to do about it? Blame the teeth or blame the tongue? Or blame someone else? No. Not blaming others is one thing. We have to act on it. It doesn't mean we just tolerate. Action must be there. We don't necessarily directly blame the person. The activity has to be dealt with. What else? How can we... Many of you myself, I've spoken too much. Many of you have had an issue with anger, or may still have an issue with anger. What are you doing about it? Or what have you done about it? Okay. Mickey, microphone.
I try and see it through Krishna conscious perspective, where where I don't see it as this is being done to me. I can either take it through karma, or that Krishna is teaching me a lesson through this, and I need to try and see what he's trying to teach me.
Okay, it's a very philosophical, analytical situation you're presenting here on our own account, dealing with our own anger, to see it in a philosophical way. Does that help calm it down?
Helps me to understand, but also it does...
Understanding what's going on. Any additions to that? Any other points? I'm interested to hear because I'd like to deal with this too. I don't mind either one or the other. Your hand was first, but tolerate. There we go.
So anger is bad. Worse is to act upon that anger. So it is said that if two people are angry,
Pardon?
one of them at least should keep quiet.
I can't hear. Quiet? Keep quiet? Keep the mic a little further away, maybe. It's
anger is bad, but what is worse is to act upon that anger. So if we are angry, we should try to stay quiet.
Stay quiet. When someone else is angry, you mean?
No, when we are angry, when we are...
When you're angry, you don't...
we identify that we are angry, we should try not to act upon it.
But like Lord Brahma, following in the footsteps of Lord Brahma, he didn't act on it exactly. Maybe he was, getting frothing at the mouth, but he didn't quite act on it. Good. Janmashtami, you are next, unless it's the same point.
Taking responsibility for it. The pen helps if you write a little inventory. Where am I affected? Where does this threaten me? So finding the cause, and then also seeing what is my part in it.
Yeah, keeping a track record. That sometimes, on many issues, you can do that with your sadhana and many things. Keeping a record, seeing how you react to different. So it's not the situation, but how we react to the situation. So keeping quiet is one thing. It's a good start. It may not remove deep down, but at least it doesn't increase the problem. I'm going to have to put my glasses on because there's a couple of other hands up and we'll finish after. Yes, his hand's been up quite a while.
Hare Krishna, thank you Maharaj for a wonderful class. One devotee showed me a method of dealing with anger and attachments, that you take a paper, you make a paper ball, and you think of
Bring the paper.
Attachment that you want to be detached from, and then you press it and you just drop it, and you observe how you feel.
Wow. Simple as that. All finished.
But you have to...
No more problems in the world. Just, if everyone would do that from top to bottom, a lot of paper balls we'd have all over the place. Individually, well, if it helps you to, diffuse that reaction, we react very kind of like almost spontaneously sometimes to situations, whether it's because of the exact situation or there's some kind of past memory or some experience you've had with that situation or person before, and before it even happens, you're ready for it. Here he comes again. Let me get my anger ready, I better get my ball out quick because it's going to... Yes, Christopher.
From my experience, Maharaj, when we get angry, and then someone who is in a position of authority, he kind of put us on the spot and kind of chastise us or correct us.
That's the way it should be. Yeah.
Then it's just like people sometimes they get angry and then the police come and then they're no more angry anymore, So in the same way, then we don't feel so strong that we can become angry.
Okay, thank you. You're justifying my behavior nicely here. Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, that's a fact. When an authority is around, you may calm down a little bit and hold it back, but you're still feeling angry nonetheless. when the chance comes, you'll let it out again. Yes, Maharaj.
Srila Prabhupada, when he was asked the question, he said to one devotee.
Who said this?
Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada, yeah.
He said you can think of Lord Nrsimhadev tearing apart Hiranyakashipu.
There we go. I'm going to tear you apart if you don't calm down. You're going to be ripped asunder. Don't forget that whatever you do, a very beautiful example. Well, it's akin to the first statement we made, that by hearing pastimes related, there are so many in the Bhagavatam, aren't there, of personalities who became like Durvasa Muni, or these become angry over various issues. So many situations. By hearing those, it does. If we hear submissively, it can help us to actually, on the spot, but also gradually purify us of the cause of anger. Yes, Prabhu. Microphone. Again, one of those topics which has deep roots.
When dealing with anger, I think a lot of the time we act very much. We're reacting to a situation. We act in the moment, So, like they say in therapy and counselling, sometimes count to 10, take a deep breath,
Deep breath.
Because anger feeds on itself as well. More angry we get, it's like a downward spiral. The more angry we get, the more.
Oh, it gets worse and worse, unless you're like Parikshit Maharaj, who of course Shringi became really. Parikshit Maharaj was also angry. He was Kaushika Muni. He was angry because Kaushika didn't give him water when he wanted it, and then the son of Kaushika, Shringi, became really angry and then put Parikshit Maharaj put a snake over his father, and then Shringi cursed Parikshit Maharaj. All part of Krishna's plans. They were Krishna's. It wasn't that Parikshit Maharaj was therefore out of control. It was monitored by the Lord. But he's showing, and then his repentance. So it depends how we respond to the situation. We may get carried away. How do you feel when don't you sometimes feel in your chest very bad when you get angry with somebody? You ever felt like that? Don't you? I'm just going to read one or two things because we're going to finish there because time's ticking. We started a bit late, but anyway, we're finished on this. We could go on and on. This is some from Srila Bhaktivedanta Manor. While chanting the holy names, waves of anger sometimes rise within the mind. Funny, huh? Strange. You think the opposite, but sometimes they come up, cleansing. Maybe thoughts of, I've seen devotees, I've seen it myself, becoming angry with a whole circumstance. Maybe the mood of a particular nation or religion, and you get really angry sometimes. You want to something, other types of things come up in our mind, but here he says anger rise within the mind. The waves will gradually subside, however, by steadily chanting. And as we heard from Yadunandana Maharaj the other day, by steadily chanting and crying out to Krishna. What does it mean, crying out to Krishna? Hare Krishna. What does it mean, crying out to Krishna? Krishna! Like a child calling for his mother, desperate. We cannot overcome these things. Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said it's impossible. You can try balls, you can try tongues, you can try locks and chains, you can try whips, you can try all sorts of things. You may need to sometimes, but it's only by the mercy of Krishna. We can try to do our best to evoke that mercy, but ultimately it's his mercy. We have to cry out to him. Take shelter of Krishna. This is what we're here for, whatever the problem is. Either side of the fence. If the distraction of anger becomes insurmountable, one should just continue chanting while addressing his anger with the following meditation. This is the meditation. What should I do with this anger that has suddenly appeared? The proper use of anger is against the offenders of the Lord or God's devotees. In a sense, preaching is the practical way to deal with it, or surrendered service to the spiritual master. But I see that I, with my body that is greedy for enjoyment, am a great enemy of Krishna and his devotees. I am an enemy. Instead of always remembering the lotus feet of Krishna and thinking of his happiness, I am engaged in the search of my own happiness. This is a huge topic. In gossip and fault finding. I am not looking at myself at all. I am not seeing my own faults. Therefore, first of all, I have to express anger at myself. I, who am such a great enemy of the devotees, I have to show anger to myself by beating my mind. So you know what to do. I think that's where my shoes went. I think somebody took them last night and beat their mind with them. I know what happened to them. And the stick. This morning I saw sticks all over the place out there. So we were beating their minds with sticks. Bang, 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 bang. That's not what it means. It means that, but it doesn't mean that literally. In fact, I wish I could find, I've got the quote somewhere. Bhaktivedanta Manor said it means when you get up in the morning, you remember all the pure devotees of Lord Chaitanya. You meditate on them. Haridas Thakur, Srup Damodar, Rupa Goswami. You meditate on them. This has an amazing effect on one's consciousness. You may even get angry because you got woken up. That's another reason for getting angry, isn't it? I've seen devotees get real angry when they're woken up. Really angry. So meditate on the pure devotees, beating the mind. I have to purify myself. I have to try in every way to have an exemplary character and sincerely serve Hari, Guru, and the Vaishnavas. I have to express anger toward my bad tendencies. Not necessarily yourself, towards the tendencies which we're attached to or identifying with that are unfavorable for devotional service, such as the desire for material gain, prestige, and position. No time to go in there, but this is another one of those root things. This desire that we want to be respected, this desire that we want to be, be in the center, and my such as the desire for material gain, prestige, and position, and my tendencies towards deceitfulness. Deceitfulness. Being honesty. Honesty is another what that means is to find out. But being honest, truthful, not deceitful. When we're honest, Krishna will help. And is that it? One last thing. No, I'm not going to read it. So much more could be said, but we're going to finish there. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Everything is there. Gaur Premanandi. Boom. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanandi.
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare